Hey everyone, welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
So today, Davy Crockett. You hear the name and you immediately think, well, legend, right?
Absolutely. Coonskin cap, the Alamo, the
Yep.
whole image.
Exactly. But how much of that is the real man and how much is, the story we've built around him?
That's pretty much the central question Buddy Levy tackles in his biography, Crockett.
That's a biography. Levy tries to sort of peel back the layers.
Yeah, he goes deep, tries to find the actual person, the frontiersman from Tennessee, the guy who ended up in Congress, and of course, how he became this icon.
All the way to the Alamo.
All the way to the Alamo, it traces that whole arc.
One thing I really loved, and Levy does this so well, is showing how the myth and the man were almost developing side by side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even while Crockett was alive, these tall tales were starting to bubble up. It's kind of wild to see him interacting with his own growing legend.
It really is. He sort of leaned into it sometimes, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe he had to. But Levy also, he paints such a vivid picture of the time.
Oh, definitely. The historical context is crucial. You get figures like Andrew Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Their relationship is complex.
Super complex. And Sam Houston, too. They weren't just names in the background. Levy shows how their lives and ambitions, directly impacted Crockett.
Right, it puts his decisions into perspective.
Yep.
And I have to say, for a biography about someone where, let's face it, we know the ending.
Yeah. The Alamo looms large.
He was a real page-turner. Seriously. Levy makes his life, from the backwoods adventures to the political maneuvering in Washington, feel really immediate and dramatic.
He does capture that momentum. It doesn't feel like just a dry recounting of facts.
Not at all.
But did you feel that undercurrent of maybe melancholy as it went on?
Yes. I was just about to say that. That's one of the things that maybe didn't love isn't the right word, but it definitely stuck with me.
Right.
There's this growing sadness or maybe frustration. You see him wrestling with things.
Like what?
Well, like trying to live up to this huge public image, this king of the wild frontier persona.
Which he helped create to some extent.
True. But then you see the personal struggles underneath it all. Financial problems, losses.
Mm.
It feels quite human and maybe a bit tragic knowing where it's headed.
Yeah, that public versus private self and the pressure of that legend, it makes you think about, fame, even back then.
Definitely. And it also felt, I don't know, a little frustrating sometimes watching his personal difficulties pile up despite this larger-than-life reputation.
And that ties into another point, maybe something challenging about the book, or just the subject itself.
What's that?
Just how hard it is, even for Levy trying to be meticulous, to fully separate the absolute fact from the fiction that started growing so early.
Right. The legend was already taking root while he was still making speeches and, living his life.
Exactly. It shows how powerful storytelling and folklore are, how quickly they can shape our perception of someone, maybe even obscure the reality a bit.
It really makes you think. So, okay, putting it all together, Buddy Levy's Crockett, for me, I'm landing on a solid 4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's engaging, it's really well researched, and it just it sheds a lot of light on a figure we think we know, but maybe don't fully grasp the complexities of.
It definitely leaves you pondering, doesn't it? Like when we look back at these legendary figures,
Mm-hmm.
how much are we remembering the actual person, their flaws and struggles and all that, and how much is just the echo of the story we needed or wanted to tell about them, and maybe why we needed that specific story.
Ooh, that is a good thought to chew on. Why that story? Okay, well, if this deep dive into Davy Crockett got you thinking,
Hope it did.
please do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps us out a lot.
It really does.
And if you want to read the book for yourself, we've put an Amazon link to Buddy Levy's Crockett right there in the description.
Definitely worth checking out if this sparked your interest.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks everyone for tuning in and joining us for this.
Yeah, thanks for listening. We'd love to hear from you, actually. What was maybe the most surprising thing you learned about Crockett? Or perhaps a favorite moment from his story, real or legendary?
Oh, good question. Let us know down in the comments. We do read them.
Please do. And yeah, share this with anyone else you think might find the life of Davy Crockett fascinating.
Until next time.